Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here to talk about step-by-step guide to start blogging. So if you're watching this content, I assume that you want to either start blogging or you're a newbie blogger. So I would like to break down the steps for blogging into pre-launch of your website and post-launch of your website. So there are only 4 steps what I want to address today, and the 4th step is very important. It's not like clickbaity, like I've left the interesting one on the last, but it definitely falls in the last, but that is very important step. Anyway, when we are talking about the pre-launch of the website, let's talk about in pre-launch there's 2 steps, and in post-launch there's 2 steps. The first step in pre-launch of your website is finding a niche. So if you are a hobbyist and you want to just blog as a hobby, you don't have to like stress about the niche. You can start blogging right away and the niche will actually find you. You can choose like blogging on random stuff and see which one works for you. Or you can choose a very broad niche like a lifestyle blog where you blog about everything you do. Sometimes if your blog has entertainment value or educational value, your blogs can be monetized even though you were a hobbyist blogger. But if you want to blog as a professional blogger, you need to be it's just not enough to be passionate about your blogs. Also, you need to choose a profitable blog. You need to have a balance between the two, because if you just choose a blog which is profitable and you are not passionate about it, it would be very dry and you won't be able to research and write about it for a long period of time. But if you choose a blog which is just like based on your passion, but there are no audience for it, there's no point writing a professional blog. So always strike a balance between your interest and a profitable blog. So once you decide on your niche, the next step is finding a domain name and a blogging platform. So how do you find a domain name? There are a lot of websites. If you Google, you will these websites would host a domain name, and the domain name is not like your niche. You can't keep changing, so put some thought into it and choose a domain name which is catchy, which represents your niche or which represents your brand. Like in my example, I want to grow the brand Jinx Me, and I have chosen most of my domain name based on that name. And so once you choose, you can go to different websites like GoDaddy, Bluehost. Like I have chosen Bluehost mainly because my web hosting service is also Bluehost. So I just chose the domain name also with the same service provider. And if you guys are interested, I have an affiliate link for your web hosting service and your domain name. And I chose Bluehost because it's a very popular choice. And I didn't choose just because it's popular, but when you mean it is popular, it is used by many users, so it's updated regularly and it's maintained well. That's the reason I chose Bluehost. And yeah, once you choose your domain name, which is like a brand name for your website, the next thing you need to do is choose a web hosting service or a blogging platform. So if you are using WordPress, you need to choose a web hosting service, or if you can use like WordPress, Tumblr, Medium. So you can use different services. So if you're using Tumblr and Medium, like it's like Instagram, where you have a platform. Like Instagram is a platform for uploading your photos and you are a user in it. So in Medium, you are a user and you can post your blog. But if it is a wordpress.org, you will be like maintaining that website. And why do you choose wordpress.org compared to a platform which hosts your blog? Because that website would take good amount of commission and you get some money in return. But when you have your own website, whatever traffic you generate, whatever affiliate products you can promote, you can do it your way. Like sometimes if you do something incorrect in a different platform, your entire user can get deleted and whatever traffic you generated, whatever name you created, it will be gone. But when it's your own website, you still need to play by the rules, but you can you have greater control on blogging, and that's why people choose. So depending on your needs, choose Medium, Tumblr, WordPress, whatever it is. So if you're choosing WordPress, even in WordPress you have wordpress.com and you have wordpress.org. wordpress.com is completely free. wordpress.org is a paid site. Again, it depends on your need, like you want a special theme. Like in wordpress.com everything is limited, but if you are planning to grow on this blogging industry, wordpress.com is pretty suitable, and that's what I've been using. But it's not a must. You can even choose wordpress.com and see how you go. So you have done, and once you have chosen your domain name, your blogging platform, your website is now ready to post content. And now we're going into the post launch. So in post launch, the first thing is nothing but posting your content, like blogging your content. So you need to remember, guys, these days there are millions of blogs out there, there are millions of websites. Don't withhold any information. If you know anything, give it out there. Make that if somebody clicked into your website, make it worthwhile for the viewer to read your content. Make it worthwhile. Provide enough information. As a blogger, you need to remember, you are not blogging for yourself. It's not about you anymore. You're blogging for your audience. And when you are blogging for your audience, you need to remember that, don't put your racist comments, your political views. It's whatever you have, keep it to yourself. And when you're blogging as a professional blogger, you need to remember your audience. You are talking to a wider range of audience. So just keep unnecessary biased opinion to yourself. And also it's important that you have a purpose for your blogging. What do you mean by purpose? Like you need to have an intent why you are typing some blog. You don't randomly scribble some words, but when you are creating a blog, you are always thinking of your audience and how I'm going to add value to that person who's clicking into my information. So you can make educational blogs. So the educational blogs, you can do like how to do tutorials. Like you're in educational blogs, you are basically trying to solve a user query. And when you create a how to do blogs, it's usually discovered in Google search, because people usually type, and that's how your information gets discovered. So you have an how to do blogs. You can do number blogs. Number blogs is like human brain is always wired to respond well to graphs, numbers, charts, which is backed by science. Also it is human brain responds to odd numbers as well. So you can create a blog like 5 places to visit in Bali, 21 activities to do in Australia, Sydney. Like when you create a number blog, it's something that makes human brain click on such information and read. Because they know how many points they have to go. They're not going into an open thing where they have to read and read, but they know, okay, 5 things, if I read, I get my information. So something about the numbers that makes people click. And the other thing I would like to talk about is like adding entertainment value. So either you're super funny, you can like, you can take people, make them forget their present, and bring them into a new world. Like you take them on a blog or a travel blog where you describe things about Hawaii and it's so beautiful. Like you can take the person out of the reality, so you have some kind of entertainment value. So such blogs are also one of the intention. And the other blog can be purely sales and profit making. Let's say if you have a website like Shopify, your objective is just to sell an object, so you display your items in a very fancy way, well photographed. So your intention of that blog could only be sales. So you can write reviews, you can display testimonials of your clients. So either you sell product on your own website, or you can sell products of somebody else, which is called affiliate marketing. So you write reviews, how the product is useful. So it is affiliate marketing where you sell. Also, when you're writing the blogs, you need to retain the clients. Write blogs which are SEO friendly, that it can be searched in future. Google rewards such a blog. Also, when you write a blog, even though I tell you the pro tip, when you're writing like a professional blogger, make sure you proofread your blog out loud, because whenever you type a blog, you tend to believe you did the best job, and sometimes you make typo errors, you make errors which is not visible to you immediately. But if you give yourself some time, come back and read it out loud, it makes sense and you can make corrections. And these days there are a lot of text to speech websites, so you can put your blog information in those websites and then listen to it, because then you will see how other person is seeing your blog and you can make corrections. And spelling mistake and grammar errors are seen as will be judged by people, and they would judge you like a poor writer. Sometimes you would have very valuable information to say, but people would undermine it, or they might click out of your website because of the spelling error. We as human beings, we are big on finding other person's mistakes. So when you read as a creator, you would read the whole information, but when a third person reads it, they would first see the spelling error and they may not pay attention to what you have to say. So I use a website called Grammarly, and I use Hemingway editor. So what you get by using these Hemingway editor is like it shows paragraphs which is hard to read. It marks it in red. It points out the spelling error, grammar error, and then you can make correction and adjust the words. So it is easy to read, because the ultimate goal is not to be verbose and use technical jargons and make it difficult for the reader, but make it easy. The ultimate goal is to communicate your idea to the reader. So I do use Hemingway editor. You can also use a friend to proofread your blog, and you can do the return the favor. So you can actually help each other out. So that's a whole another thing. And the second thing I want to say, that even though people judge you and people are concerned about your writing, if there is a choice that you want to be a perfectionist and you don't want to make a mistake at all and you don't end up writing at all, I would rather say don't worry about don't be so afraid that you can't write. Go ahead, make mistakes on these blogs. It's okay, we are human beings. These blogs can be edited in future. it can be promoted in future. Like maybe somebody didn't like your blog today, but you can rewrite it, keep it updated and promote in future and bring more traffic to your site. So don't be afraid to make mistake. You're so afraid that you don't even want to blog, so let it not stop you. But when you're giving out your blog out there, putting your blog out there, put your best blog out. Try your best. Of course, we always improve on us, but let that perfectionism not stop you. So even though it sounds contradictory, I hope guys you're understanding what I'm trying to tell. So now you've written your blog. So the most important, writing a blog and setting up the website, everything is only 20% of the work done. Because even if you write a very fabulous content, I'm telling you, there are so many blogs out there. If you do not promote your blog, no one will discover it. So I have come up with few ways in which you can promote your traffic. I have 5 steps. One is social media. So once you create your blog, be active on other social medias. Let's say I'll give you example like Pinterest. Create pins and relate it to your blog, because in each pin you can put your web URL. So promote your blogs on Pinterest. Pinterest is not just a social media, it is a search engine, and it would be discovered by people. So promote on Pinterest, promote on Facebook, promote on all the social medias that you are active on. LinkedIn, even though it's like a user profile, there are a lot of people discovering content on LinkedIn. So if it is appropriate for your users, don't feel shy to promote it. Yeah, you have to promote your content on social media. And you can this other thing is like there are other blogging platforms. Like I said, I blog on WordPress, I blog on Quora, Medium, and I use the same information. So it is okay to repurpose your information. So the other platforms I can think is Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. So go out there, promote your content, because if you don't promote your content, nobody's going to do it for you. And the other way of promoting your brand name and your blogs are through guest blogging. I don't believe guest blogging brings a lot of traffic to your website, but it puts your name out there. It gives exposure to your name as a new writer. And when you get good brand name, people might look for your information, and that's you can get better exposure by guest blogging. And then the other thing I would like to talk about is posting comments and engaging in forums. Like engage in the forum and engage on other blogs which is related to your niche. It's not just to put your name, put your name out there and get exposure, but also you read other writers, like how they write and how they go about doing things, what's the latest trend. So you also learn, you put your name out there, and you might get traffic back to you. The last thing I want to cover is whenever you achieve something, some milestone, do a giveaway, because everybody like a free thing, and that also generates traffic. So thank you for viewing my content. I would post the link to my blogs on my description. So in case in future you want to refer to something, the information is available to you. Thank you for your times, guys. Have a good night. Bye bye.